Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
Shah La War.
Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory.
All right. First and foremost, we like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash, and double to Pastor GMS. Citation to your brother, push word of truth and sincerity. Truth and sincerity. We just missed Mississippi Camp. I'm gonna let the brothers have it. Go ahead, brothers.
All right, Shalom. Come, Shalom. All right, and what we're gonna go into, all right, this week, with the weekly lesson. All right, we're gonna deal with the saints of the Most High, and get an understanding of who the saints of the Most High. All right, according to the scriptures, because dealing with that word saints, like I say, dealing with modern, Christianity, they throw that term around, loosely, as to describe, someone that does, good deeds according to this world standard. Okay. But when you go into the scriptures, all right, the term saints is associated with a lineage. All right. And that lineage is the nation of Israel. All right. The descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the nation whom the Lord has set apart. All right. For himself, so we're going to go into it from a biblical perspective, and Abaratazai bring out the understanding. All right. So yeah, let's go here, bro. Let's start with Psalms 50 and 5.
God, this is book of Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Yeah, so we're gonna expound on this because it's a two-part, precept. Okay, so the first part is saying, gather my saints together unto me. Well, let's put a name, all right, on the saints. Okay. So when you go into the book of the same book, the book of Psalms, all right, and that's 148. All right, read that 148 and 14, bro.
God, this is Psalms chapter 148 and verse 14. It says, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, so he exalted the horn of his people, all right, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. So that's clearly, defining the saints as Israelites. All right. And it doesn't change throughout the scriptures, so that's why, even when we're going to, Lord will, we get into the New Testament, okay, it's going to continue to mention the saints. Well, it's talking about the same people, okay? So the saints are Israelites. And then in Psalms 50 and 5, we're going to read it again, and then we're going to go to the next part. So then we're going to go to Exodus 24 after this, and then say whatever y'all brothers got after that, y'all can bring it out. But this read Psalms 55 again.
God, this is Psalm chapter 50 and verse 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Yep. So those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So we establish who the saints are. All right. Now let's double down on it and go into the people that made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice. All right. So let's get this in let's get this Exodus 24 and 1. Start at 1, bro.
Come on, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 24, starting at verse 1. And he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord Yahweh, thou and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near. Go ahead.
No, you got.
Come, verse 2. And he said unto Moses, so like in verse 2, and Moses alone shall come near the Lord Yahweh, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. Verse 3, and Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord Yahweh and all the judgments, and all the peoples answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord Yahweh has said will we do. And Moses,
so you got to look at this like a marriage ceremony, where Moses was the mediator. All right, because this first covenant is us being joined to our power, and this is going to the stipulations of that marriage. There was instructions, okay, that we were to abide by as a people, okay, to uphold our end of the covenant, okay, and then us upholding our end, the Most High will uphold his end as being our power, our provider, okay. So this is the ceremony, okay, of the first covenant, like a wedding ceremony. You see, because that's what did Israel? Because in the marriage, what do you say? I do. Once they announce the vows, do you take the love? They go through the vows, and what do parties say? All right, the groom say I do, and the wife say I do. They make an agreement. Okay, so this is what we did with the Most High. All right, with this first covenant, we said I do. To everything that was within the instructions given to Moses. Okay, you got it, bro.
Con, verse 4. It says, and Moses wrote all the words of the Lord Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord Yahweh. And Moses took half the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord Yahweh have said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord Yahweh hath made with you concerning all these words.
Yeah, so now, all right, we have a full understanding, okay, of Psalms 50 and 5. All right, because there was a covenant made between who? The Most High and Israel. All right, only Israel was there. Okay, only Israel was at that altar making that covenant by blood. All right, so let's read this once again. All right, and then now it should hit. You got it, bro.
Come, it says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant.
Call it out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just saying, call it out. Call out the verse.
Oh, Salakia,
yeah, I can hear you. Call out the verse. Yeah.
Come, my bad, Salakia. Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5.
No, you good.
Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Yeah, so we've showed that the saints are the Israelites, okay, and we showed that the Israelites are the only people, all right, that made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice, okay. So there's no doubt, all right, that the saints, when we read about in the scriptures in the Old Testament and the New Testament, okay, are Israelites, because the First Testament and the Old Testament are for Israelites, okay. Y'all brothers had some?
Con. Yeah, bro. Just to bag you up, real quick, I want to get the Deuteronomy 7 and 6, but I typed it into Google, what is a saint in the Bible, and like you said, bro, you know, just to back you up, they use it loosely because it goes into a holy one, or someone that is someone set apart for the Most High, referring to all true believers. In it say JC here, it says not just exceptionally holy people canonized by the church. So yeah, this is like a loosely, you know, like anybody can be a saint, but it goes into, see, they use a word, I was looking it up, they use another word, distinguish. So Baba Kashah, when you get that first, bro, and then get that word distinguish real quick.
Come. It's up there, bro. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You can read for him.
Come, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. The Lord Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Yeah, and if you want to get that word holy, well, the word holy religion goes into, again, separated, you know, to be because separated, which is gonna go into the word distinguished. So Baba Kashah, get that distinguished real quick.
Okay, come. Did you want in the Google or the
You can get it in the Google.
Okay, come. I got it right here in the Google. So you go into the word distinguish. It says successful, authoritative, and commanding great respect, or it says showing dignity or authority in one's appearance or manner.
No, I got this right here in the AI overview.
Oh, you got the AI overview.
Yeah, cause it's gonna be probably in that all.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, just type in distinguish.
Hold on.
Distinguish, not with the ED.
Oh, distinguish. Okay.
No, okay.
Still, you ain't give me the AI. Let me see if I can distinguish AI overview. Nah, he gave me something else. But you can just read it, bro.
Okay, Khan. It says
Sorry, just read it.
Khan. It says wait a minute. It says to recognize. Hold on, she just changed. Or show. It says to recognize or show difference between things, to perceive something clearly, or to make oneself stand out through notable actions. And going back into, I take that this is what the Lord did to us, according to the other nations. He separated us. You know, he made a difference between us, because why? For one, our actions, because we made a sacrifice unto the Lord, saying that yet again going to the I do, and it says to stand out. See, the other nations didn't do that. You know, and the Lord dealt with us through what? Through Him bringing us out of Egypt and setting us up through Moses as a people unto Himself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how we was separated from the rest of the nations.
Come on, bro. And I just typed the word distinguish, because that regular word distinguish do go more into it just with the regular definition. So to distinguish means to recognize or treat someone or something as different. And you go into the similar words here: to differentiate, to tell apart, to discriminate, to pick out. You know, it says to pick out. What you got, bro?
Yeah. So this is how we were in the earth. We was picked out of all nations in the earth to be a people unto the Lord, separated from everybody else. And then that word going to separate is really to divide. So He divided us away from the rest of the nations. You know. So the Lord, this is how the Lord dealt with us, because again we made. Again, what did I do? We said we was gonna follow the commands of Yahweh Shai. We was gonna obey our power, and we were gonna be a people unto Him. So, and that didn't happen with the rest of the nations. You know, just being, you know, in simple terms with it.
Come on, bro. Any other brother had something?
Kind the back of Yemaya.
What you got, bro?
You can give me Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8.
It's in Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8.
Kind verse 8 and 9.
Okay. Come on, bro. Yeah, it's the spirit. I was just reading it this morning. All right, you got it on Anna.
Come, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verses 8 and 9. It says, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend."
You see this lineage is the one He's always been dealing with. You know, and we know that Scripture said the Most High is, the Most High changed not, roughly paraphrasing. So He's going to continue to deal with these people, you know. Each time someone came important, you know, out of His people, out of to do something for Him, it was always someone of these people, of this lineage.
Hey, I got that word friend in the Hebrew, and it's ahab, and we know ahab in the Hebrew is love. You know, it said Abraham my friend, so we saying Abraham my love. You know, going back to the beloved, all right, which is the elect. You know, so you go into the definitions. It says the act of being a friend, all right, and it says the Most High Lord, the Most High's love toward men, to individual men, to people Israel, to people Israel. You know, but you got it, bro. I just brought that definition out to bag you up, bro.
God, that's beautiful, to the people Israel. So Everybody that's he's gonna be dealing with is gonna be of this lineage, you know. So who's gonna be his saints? They're going to be of this lineage. You got it, bro.
Verse 9, it says, "Though whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee out."
And we know that the saints of the Most High are his servants. And what did the scripture just call the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? His servants. So who the servants are? The saints. You know, there's no way around it. You know, these are his men, his administrators on this planet.
Bro.
You got it.
They were set apart. Yeah, like you said, they were set apart. All right, for assignment. You know, because going back to the beginning, you know, the Lord always intended for his sons to rule the earth in righteousness. You know, that's why we were set apart. You know, not to jump up and down and say we're the chosen. No, we were set apart and given a responsibility. You know, and that was to rule in righteousness, and that's what we fumbled it. You know, we fumbled the responsibility, so the Lord took the perks. You know, because the perks came with us handling our business, okay, as righteous rulers. You know, and when we stopped doing that, you know, the Lord stopped protecting and providing. You know, but now in the latter times, the Lord is gathering, you know, those saints back, you know, through the word, which is Yahweh Shai, you know, and he's finna put us back in the office of rulership, okay, with Yahweh Shai, you know. But any brother had anything else? Anything, brother, had something?
Yeah, I got some.
What you got, bro?
Give me First Chronicles 17, 20, 21.
Say First Chronicles.
Yeah, First Chronicles.
Okay, that's 27. You said 17, First Chronicles 17?
Yeah, 17 and 20.
You got it, bro.
This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 17, verse 20. It says, "O Lord Yahweh, there is none like thee, neither is there any power besides thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears."
And that's thing. That's different between the other nations and our people. We have a true living power. They don't have a power. Like the scripture in Psalms, the other nation are gods for idols. So they all have idols, man. So they don't have a true power like we do. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21. It says, "And what one nation in the earth is like thy people Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem to be his own people, to make thee a name of greatness and terribleness, by driving out nations from before thy people, whom thou hast redeemest out of Egypt."
Now, people always say, everybody's God's people. So when Lord went to when Lord used Moses to go tell Pharaoh, if everybody God's people, he wanted to use Pharaoh. He wanted to tell Moses to let my people go. If everybody were God's people, so that's a different. He sent Moses, and you told him, "Let my people go." All right, we not all God's people. Israel is the Lord's people. All right, but he said a nation. It's what one nation is like unto the people Israel, when God who went to redeem, got us. All right, that's who the Lord went back to get his people. He and like I said, if everybody that loves people, he want to do that. Why would he say, Moses, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go? So we're not all the Lord's people. All right, that's all I got on that, bro.
Baba Shah, if you don't mind, Zaquan, he can keep reading because King David getting down.
Go ahead.
Oh, you got it, bro.
Verse 22, it says, "For thy people Israel didst thou make thine own people forever, and thou, Lord Yahweh, becamest their power."
Mm,
It said it came that it said, "For thy people Israel did thou make thy own people forever."
mm.
Yep, we can't get around it.
You
You
can't get
know,
around.
like the Lord, He didn't make no He didn't make all right no gray areas when it came to claiming Israel as His people forever. That's clearly stated. That was clearly His intentions. You know, but people, they try to use the New Testament as if we've been replaced. Because if you read, in the New Testament on the surface, and you don't have any understanding about, these captivities we've been in, and the effect of, Hellenization, why we're being called Greeks, why some Israelites are being called Gentiles. Well, if you don't know their history, you'll think it's talking about actual heathen, but nah, man, it's the same people, okay, just were Hellenized and turned out and living amongst the Gentiles and living like the Gentiles, but they're still descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're still saints, you know. You got it, bro.
Verse 23, it says, "Therefore now, Lord Yahweh, let the thing that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house be established forever, and do as thou hast said."
Go ahead.
Verse 24, "Let it ever, let it even be established that thy name may be magnified forever, saying, The Lord Yahweh of hosts is the power of Israel, even a power to Israel. And let the house of David thy servant be established before thee."
Hey,
Can you get around it? Got it, bro.
you can't get around it, bro. You're right. You can't get around it, man. A power of Israel. Like I said, that's our power. And I think everybody pissed off because you didn't get chosen. Don't be mad at us because the Lord didn't pick y'all. But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? All right? Because we the people and y'all not. All right. We going through the hell right now, and it's fine. But guess what? The kingdom is for the Israelites. You can't get in. You won't get in. The only way you gonna be in, you get your ass whooped. That's how it's gonna happen. But we the people. I hate to bust about fucking bubble, man. All right. But that's all I got, brothers.
I got one, bro.
You said you got one, bro?
Can you get Exodus? Just to back a few of the brothers up. Exodus 19 and 5 and 6. And can you get it in the AMP?
Okay. The AMP come. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5 and 6 in the AMP. It says, "Now therefore, if you will in fact obey my voice and keep my covenant, which is the agreement, then shall you be my own special possession and treasure from among all peoples of the world, for all the earth is mine." So out of all of the world and out of all the different nations in the world, the Lord chose Israel. And he said, if we obey his voice and keep the covenant, that we will be set apart, like the Quran going into, that being that holy nation is being set apart, and we were set apart for the purpose that the Lord has given us, which was to rule the earth. As it says here in verse 6, it says that you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, set apart for my purpose. These are the words that you shall speak to the Israelites. So it didn't say everybody. It said this is the nation of Israel. The Israelites are the saints of the Most High Yahweh. And that, just taking it back to what we was talking about before, being those saints of the Most High.
Come on, bro. And because we go into the book of Exodus, like you say, chapter 9 and verse 6, real quick, just to link it up. And then I say, Lamar, you had something, Lamar?
Come on, bro.
I just want to link this up real quick in Exodus, and then you got it, bro. So when you go to the book of First Peter, chapter 2, and verse 9, all right. So why? Because remember, you go into the book of Peter, this is written to, the churches, amongst, all right, the Greco-Roman Empire, in Asia Minor, the different churches that were set up amongst the Gentile, these Israelite foreigners. So the book of Peter is written to Israelite foreigners, what they call the strangers. Okay. But why is he mentioning Exodus 19 verses 5 and 6, which that was only for the nation of Israel? You got it, bro.
This is the book of First Peter.
2.
This is the book of First Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, a special people for the Most High's own possession, so that you may proclaim the excellencies, the wonderful deeds and virtues and perfections of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Yeah, so Peter, is addressing, Israelite foreigners and linking them. Because when you go into the Apostle Paul, that's why he was always linking them back to Hebrew Israelite history. He was linking them back to the history of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he was linking them back to their history, So why is, in the New Testament, the Apostle Peter is writing to, all right, the strangers, okay, and telling them about Israelite history, because they're linking the Israelites scattered amongst the heathen, the Gentiles, the Greeks, okay, and he's linking them back to their history, man, who they are as a people, this word was what? Gathering the saints, even from amongst, the heathens and the Gentiles, man, What you got, Lamar? What you had?
I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 11. Verses 12 down to verse 14. And then I want to get Baba Gashah Ephesians 4, verses 12 and 13.
So the 1 Corinthians 12 and 12.
12 down to verses 14.
Okay, come. You got it, bro.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, starting at verse 12. It says, for as the body is one and has many members, all the members of that one body being many are one body, also is Hamashiach. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into the Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many.
So this is basically going to the body, how we are one with Yahweh Shai. And we all once in that Gentile state of mind. We was all, basically considered Gentiles. We're living in a foreign land, speaking a foreign language, no different than, back when Israelites were living in Greece, speaking Greek, but the Lord has awakened us and we know have understanding, know who we are. So even though we're still in this foreign land, we have come back to the Father and Son, and we rehearse the righteous acts. We speak and talk Hebrew to the best of our ability, say Hebrew prayers and things of that nature, but the whole thing is through it all, the Lord is bringing his elect back as one body, and I'm backing it up with Ephesians chapter 4, verses 12 and 13. So the whole point is going into that body, man, which is the building of the house of David, and how not one person, when it comes to Lord elect, is insignificant, man. Because when you continue to read down on that chapter, it goes into the different body parts and the importance thereof, relating to, brothers in the ministry. You got it, bro.
Verse 11.
12 and 13, and Ephesians Ephesians chapter 4, verses 12 and 13.
Come on. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verses 12 and 13. It says, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach, till we all come in the unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto a measure of the statue of the fullness of Mashiach.
Right. So in this ministry, man, we continue to do the work. That way the Lord increase us. We're being perfected. We're edifying the body, iron sharpening iron, and our faith is growing. Our unity is coming together, and it's all through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Al Shai, man. And we all gonna get a particular measure, but the Lord is gonna increase us in our fullness to continue to do His work, man. And it's only the saints of the Lord that's going to receive that, not these other nations. Not 2/3 of Israel, but the servants of Yahweh Al Shai. Because whenever you read a scripture that says His people, you can equate the saints and the Israelites to that statement, man. So the saints of the Lord are the Israelites, okay, which is what? His people, starting with the Lord's elect. That's all I got, bro.
Go on, bro. Any brother had anything else?
I got that Psalm 147.
Oh yeah, come on, for sure, bro.
Yep. 1920.
I had something back of the brother also.
Come. You got it, bro.
This book of Psalms, chapter 147, verses 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh.
See, he showed the word to Jacob. All right, and he said he had not dealt with no one else. So he hadn't dealt with Edom, hadn't dealt with Moab, Ammon, Ham, hell no. He ain't dealt with nobody but the children of Israel, man. And we don't want to, we only want, like the brother started off. We don't want to sign the contract. Basically, it's a contract that we signed, and we said we're gonna do this.
That was the word, bro.
It's a contract, because guess what? The football players, they sign a contract and they got things in it that they can't do. In a contract, just like the Lord did us. Stuff we can't do. And we broke the contract. Now we over here getting our ass kicked. So that's all really have. We just broke contracts and the Lord punished us. All right. But Lord had not dealt with the nation but the children of Israel. All right. That's all I got on that, bros.
Come on, bro. You say you had something, young yacht? Yeah. Thank you on mute, bro. You on mute, yep.
Yeah, come on, bro. Salah. Just to back up the brother Lamont, that Matthew 22 and I think it's 36. Let's see, 36 down to 36 down through 39, 40. Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple words, in the Etamon real quick.
Come on.
Going into that body,
What word you want to get in the Etamon?
Okay. Oh, in the Etamon, I want to get. There's a few words I want to get. I want to get consecrate first, and then we'll just go from that through the Spirit.
Okay, come. You got it, bro. You got that now.
Come, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 36. It says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahweh Shai said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh Shem Shai, thy power. It's like thou shalt love the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, thy power, with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment.
Yeah, you got it.
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Right. So this is the body. This is what our law consists of. Like, we love each other, love our neighbors. You know, it's the love is the greatest action that we can give one another. You know, and it's by what we reverencing Yahweh. This is how we reverence Yahweh Shem Shai, by how we, you know, how we are amongst each other. You know, so Baba Gashai, get this word consecrate for me in the Etamon.
I got you, bro. All right, just the word consecrate. It says to make or declare sacred by certain ceremonies or rites. It says to make holy, to devote. You know, it says come is with together, sacre, to make or declare sacred. The meaning to devote or dedicate from profound feeling.
And the point is, like, we was back up to the top, Baba Gashai. Yeah, the point is we was
Top come.
yeah. We was made separate, we devoted. And we did certain things, like, again, we was joined to Yahweh Shem Shai by sacrifice. So Baba Gashai, from there, if you don't mind, and this is how we, again, what you're highlighting too, this is how we became joined to the Most High. So if you can get that word devout for me.
Devout.
Yeah, devout, D-E-V-O-U-T, Baba Gashai. And there's one more word I want to get after that.
Come, it's all good, bro. All right, going to the word devout. It says of persons yielding reverential devotion to the Most High, especially in prayer, pious, religious, pious, devoted, assiduous. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then I want to get the word
going?
pious.
Oh.
Now I want to get the word pious real quick. Just, just linking these words.
Okay. Okay, come. All right, the word pious, it says having or intended to show faith in and reverence for the supreme being, dutiful, devout, conscientious, religious, faithful to kindred, inspired by friendship, prompted by natural affection. You got it, bro.
And this is how we got this. We got these natural affections and through our kindred, for our kindred through what? What we just read right there in Matthew 22nd chapter 36 down through 40. The Lord said, hey, these are the greatest commandments, and the second was unto it like it. Worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua and your brother, and love your brother. Treat your brother basically as unto yourself. So this was given to all heathen, but the heathen has yet to, they gonna come into this eventually, but under the guisemanship of Esau, no. But this goes into, this is what the saints has been given. This is the duty of the saints,
Yeah, the heathen's gonna be taught this, in the kingdom under us, but they'll never be, part of the covenant. They'll never enter. Yeah, they'll never come into immortality. They'll never be, priest. They won't have the access, to Yahweh Bashim Shai that we'll have. They'll just be taught their way, by, the saints. They're gonna have to live according to the standard of the saints, which is the Israelites.
That was all I had on that, bro.
Okay.
I got a quick one.
Had something else?
Got a quick one,
bro.
Malachi chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3, verse 6.
Okay. All right, you got it, bro.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
Con. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. And Jacob received the promises by heritage of Abraham and Isaac. And Jacob, whose name was changed to Yasha after wrestling the angel, had 12 sons. So he's the progenitor of the Israelites. And the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which make up the nation of Israel. And the Lord says, so Jacob are not consumed, meaning what? He's not going to be destroyed. He's not going to be done away with. So the other nations has no participation when it comes to the kingdom of heaven except for slavery. Okay, the Edomites are going to be utterly destroyed, man, after hardcore 1,000 years of slavery. All right, so the saints are the Lord's people, starting with the elect. Okay, the servants, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. No other nation, man. The Lord said he only come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's only shortening the time so the elect can be saved. You know, Jacob I love, Esau have I hated. You know, all these are clear-cut indicators that the Lord has a chosen people, man. And it's not any other nation. So like we went to in the beginning, man, the saints are directly the progenitors from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which makes up the nation of Israel. No other nation. And the Lord says he changed not. So since the beginning of the time, the Lord has had a peculiar people, a people of his own, and that has not changed until this day, regardless of what anybody tries to say. That's all I got, bro.
Come on, bro. Any brother has something else? If not, we get this one more and we can close out. You know. Oh, you had some a lot.
Kind. You can give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8 and 9.
Come. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8 and 9. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Abraham, he set bounds of the people according to the number. Sons of Adam. So lock it, bro. My bad. I'm gonna start at the top. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. It says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is a lot of his inheritance.
You see, the Lord has always been dealing with this particular line, this particular people, you know. You know, it started from the garden until now. What? As the scripture we kept on roughly paraphrasing, the Lord changed not. The Lord didn't change his people. You know? The Lord did not change his people. He knows what lineage he's dealing with. And he knows what lineage that he's going to set up for all eternity. You know? Nobody else can get in because it just said he divided the nations, their inheritance. You know? Separated the sons of Adam. You know? What? He's going to stay doing that. There's always going to be this ruling class. You know, this chosen people, this special people, you know, and those are his saints. Those will be the one that govern the universe under Yahweh Shah. You got it.
Come, bro. Come. Yeah, I just want to get this last one. Cause just like the brother was getting into, everything revolves around Israel, and the only reason these heathens, get to be in power is because we fail. That's the only reason they have an opportunity to rule. All right, and that's why there's emphasis on keeping us down as a people, going back to Psalms 83, because these heathens, the elite of these heathens, know, all right, that the only reason they get to rule is because we fail. The sons of God. But if the sons of God have been awakened, you can see the earth has been in an uproar. So let's get that in Daniel 7:18. Because this is what it all boils back down to. The saints, we fail, we went in captivity, all right, and the Lord, through Yahushua, he said up to have mercy on us at the end, and this is where we at now, dealing with the saints. You got it, bro.
Con, this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Yeah, and there it is. Okay. The saints are back, man. Okay. And the saints is getting ready to take the kingdom. All right. Under the authority of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay. So this is why we see all this prophecy happening and earth in the uproar. All right. These wars and rumors of wars, because it's leading to the saints taking the kingdom and possessing it forever and ever in righteousness. That was it. I think the point been made. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters are edified. Once again, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.